My name is Tyler Lemke, and we are here at Jones Technical Institute today. And today I will be explaining an Oxy Acetylene cutting torch. Here we have a large bottle of oxygen. Here we have a small bottle of acetylene. Always the bigger bottle is going to be oxygen, and the smaller bottle is going to be acetylene, because you use more oxygen than acetylene. Some things to know before setting up is these need to be closed. All these are going to be closed when you start up. This is an oxygen knob with the green line, runs to the green oxygen tank. The red line says an F on it. The red line runs down here to the acetylene tank. This knob here and this knob here actually both control the oxygen. There's just double nozzles. And then this one here is for the acetylene. You're going to have to start off by opening up your tanks. Oxygen tank, you want to open that one all the way. So we're going to go ahead and screw that one open all the way. Acetylene is a dangerous gas and can cause issues, so you only want to open up that one about a quarter of a turn. So that way, if need be, you can close it very quickly. When you do that, you've got two gauges here. The bigger gauge, the gauge on the right side is going to be how much pressure is in your tank. Gauge on the left side is your meter, about how much gas is letting out. I like to go ahead and start by opening up my oxygen all the way. And whenever you check your gases on these gauges, it's best to have your gauges open just a little bit so you can kind of compensate for when you hit the torch and when the gas is escaping, how much pressure is going to be in here. So I've got this open all the way. I'm going to start with oxygen. I've got this oxygen knob open all the way, and I'm going to crack this one open just enough. And now I'm going to start turning this one. This is opposite. Right is normally tight to close, but on these nozzles, right is actually to open. So I'm going to go ahead and start turning it right. Now you can see the oxygen going up. The red numbers on the inside are PSI. I'm going to go up to about 20 PSI, maybe just a little bit more. Now you can find a chart online to see what you're cutting and how much oxygen to use to how much acetylene to use. But for what we're cutting, we're going to go right around 20 PSI on the oxygen. Hit that trigger a couple times, see what happens. Drops right down between about 21 and 20, so we're perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up the acetylene. I'm going to open up that nozzle. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and close that nozzle now that I'm done there. Excuse me. Now I'm going to crack open this acetylene just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and work my acetylene nozzle, twist it right to open it up. And now this gauge is starting to move here. I like to go up to right around 5 to 10, so we'll put it at about 7. Alright, now I'm going to open up that nozzle a little bit, and it doesn't drop much, so I'll go ahead and close that. Now it's closed, it's sitting at about 8. That's perfect. Now we got our gases set up. Oxygen's ready to go, acetylene's ready to go. We're running around 22 PSI here and about 7 to 8 PSI here. Now we're set up, ready to go. But now we gotta light it. So this is the hard part. You're gonna go ahead and crack your acetylene first. Acetylene is always gonna be first. I've got oxygen closed, this oxygen all the way open, but because this one's closed, technically we're only gonna be using these two nozzles. Oxygen, acetylene. Now to start, I'm gonna go ahead and open my acetylene first, and I'm gonna spark it. Sometimes you don't open it enough that first time, it won't light, just open it up a little bit more. It's gonna be a very sooty flame. Lots of black smoke and nasty stuff coming off of it. You're gonna go ahead and open up that acetylene slowly until that soot you see that flame starts to feather out a little bit, and then the soot kind of disappears. It's not as bad. If you go too much, it'll start hissing, and all the soot will disappear. You don't want that. You just want it to start to feather and have a little bit of soot, not as much. That's a lot of soot. We're gonna open it up just a little bit more until it's feathering, but it's not making as much soot. Now next, we're gonna go ahead and open up our oxygen. What we're looking for here is 3 flames. Now we've got 2, now we've got 3 flames. Now we wanna bring that center flame till it meets the first flame, just like that. So if I close it, now we've got that large flame there. I'm gonna open up the oxygen until I just got those little fingers there. Now, to make sure that you've got it good, you can hit that gas to release the oxygen, and then close your oxygen, open it until you have just those fingers when you don't push the lever and when you do push the lever. So holding the lever, I've got those little fingers sharp, and releasing the levers, I've got those little fingers in there sharp. Now we're ready to cut. Those little fingers are gonna warm up the metal you need to cut, and then when you pull that trigger, it's gonna blast through the metal. first things first, we're gonna take those tips to the metal and we're gonna heat up the metal until it's cherry. And then once we're ready, we release the oxygen to blow through the hot metal and cut it, and we will drag through. To close and shut off your torch, always start with the acetylene. Acetylene's the first on, acetylene the first off. So we're gonna go ahead and close our red line down here. Now we just got oxygen coming out, nothing dangerous anymore. Go ahead and close that oxygen there. Now we're gonna shut off our tanks. I'm gonna come here, shut off acetylene first because it's a dangerous gas. And then we'll shut off our oxygen. We're still gonna have some pressure left in our lines, so we need to get rid of that. After that tank's nice and closed, you don't wanna shut any of these valves too hard or open them too hard because they're soft metal, and if you crush them, you'll ruin the seal. So you just wanna go until it stops and stop there. Don't give it too much torque, you know, you'll mess it up. So after you still got air in these lines, you gotta get it out. I've got this tank closed and this tank closed. You got these valves open. So now all I really gotta do to get the gas out is just open up these lines. I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. I can hear the oxygen coming out. If I look here, oxygen's all the way down at 0. So now there's no oxygen left in this line and no more pressure being produced. So I'm gonna close this valve, make sure it stays at 0. Closed here, no pressure on the line, good to go on the oxygen side. All right, acetylene still has some pressure left in the line, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up this acetylene line, and there it goes. Bye-bye. All right, now we've got all the acetylene out. This is closed, that one's down at 0. Now what we can do is close these valves. Screw them left to close them. Just a couple nice turns, they'll stop eventually, but you just wanna back those out all the way to the left, and that'll close this valve as well. So now I got this valve closed, this valve closed, this valve closed, all the air out of the lines, and these valves closed. This one I had all the way open. I'll go ahead and close that one all the way as well. All the valves are closed, all the valves are closed, no fluid left in the line, and we're good to go. One more thing before I go. When you do start your lines and you've got your lines full of pressure and you've worked your gauges, it's best to take some soapy water or something of the sort, maybe even your ear, feel around for leaks and listen for leaks. Put some soap on the lines and look for leaks. One way to do that is once you've got the pressure in the line, you close your valves and close your bottles as well, and watch to see if the pressure drops. If the pressure drops, that means you got a leak somewhere and you've got to find it. Never good to do anything with flame and leaky gas at the same time, because if your flame touches your leaky gas, starts your line, blows up your tank, and I mean, you can have some trouble. So make sure you check for leaks too in your lines, and stay safe. Wear your safety goggles. Thanks for coming.